Hello, welcome to Tech Talk. We're here with Innovative Service Routes owner Russ Keach, software project manager David Martineau, and special guest
No,
Stone.
nobody. No, I don't think Stone's
Okay.
getting
Oh, Stone is on.
on. Is he on?
Just joking. He's not.
All right, so we're probably not going to publish this one. So here we go, people. Oh, you're not seeing my screen, are you? Let's try this again. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you merge a route, Russ, now you can choose any routes, any days. Seems wacky to me, but we'll let you do it. I can see your use case. We get routes all the time that are red on stage because we're constantly just testing. But I'm surprised we're getting a lot of red routes in prod because you can't really skip a route, right? So when you merge two routes, they come to the top of the list and they're side by side in this group. So we have this route was already merged. Now I merged these two routes together. They're called group two. So now if you optimize that, you're optimizing both together. And since all of these have good geo coordinates, you can do a street sort or a distance sort or a manual sort. So I'm just going to do a manual sort and save it. And then it came in at 5,000 or 4,000 miles. So one of these is out in the ocean somewhere, I'm sure.
And they're pretty far away, actually, and it's not really optimized very well.
Yeah. So I don't even know who these two states are. They're both in Utah. Um, the other thing that we added here, maybe we ought to talk about whether we want to move this, is over on routes, there's this locations now. So you can add, David's home. That's actually BYU's address. And associate it with a region. Oh, you don't have to put the city in the name. Where's Provo? Man, we got a lot of cities in here, Russ. 84602. Okay, so you put that in. When you save it, we hit our geocoordinate provider and get the geocoordinates. So now we have the geocoordinates of David's home. So now on the routes, where was that pony route? Right here. You can go into the route and say the start and end location is David's home. So that could be your truck, where you got your trucks parked or whatever. Then when you do that, so if you come back now to service routes and we'll pull up the pony one again, you can see that David's home is now at position 0. It's locked there. And then if you scroll down, it's also the end point. So now all of the route sorting is relative to the starting point of David's home. Likewise, the end point. So when you do like a street sort, if I were to do a street sort now, it would send my geocoordinates for David's home to the algorithm that does the sorting, does the route optimization. So that's locations. So that dropped it down to 1,463 miles, still a long ways. I don't know where some of these, they're down in Washington. I don't know how we're going to optimize these routes. Anyway, you got the idea there. Any questions on locations? Okay. All right. There's also this thing called a service group where you can just give it a name, my group of routes. And you can choose a region and you can say whenever these two routes are built, I want them to automatically be merged. So the main reason we built this merge tool are for 1 week routes so that you can have a true 1 week route and set it up with a 4 week route to do them together. So let's call that something else. We'll call that can to curb. So now whenever we build can to curb and week 4 Monday, it'll create a group out of them.
Do you have to build both of those for it to work together? If you
Yeah.
ask them to build one, okay.
Yeah, they have to both be built. So you can do the same thing for can to curb, and so let's see. So can to curb is a weekly route on a Monday, and you want it so the next time you build, you want it to be merged with week 2 Monday. So you'd call it can to curb week 2. And so on. So you don't have to manually merge those routes each time. It'll automatically do it when you build the routes. So did we have can to curb?
You do 4 week services. Do you have to have 4 of those routes? Week 1, 2, 3, and 4?
Yeah. So, I mean, we support 1 week, 2 week, 3 week. We support any iteration of a weekly route, but most of our customers are doing 4 week routes, monthly routes, right? So in order to get, you got your 4 week route here with 20 customers on it, and you have a 1 week route with 2 customers, it doesn't make sense to send drivers out to 2. You want to merge that 2 customer 1 week route in with the 4, but you have to do it 4 times for each week.
What if I just want to create a 1 week route all by itself? Can I do an advance properly?
Oh yeah, we've always been able to do that. So in fact, a lot of the customers that are doing a true 1 week route really should convert all their routes to a 1 week route and then just let the 4 weeks rotate, just like we do with a 8 week, a 12 week, semi-annual, whatever, and they would just drop one level. Instead of catering to the monthly customers, they would cater to the weekly, and all the monthlies would just shift to the next service date of the 4 week type thing. But okay, so that's a merge, but obviously you showed us a new reason for using a merge, and that was you want to service this. Maybe it's a holiday type thing where you want to build the route but not service it until you're going to service 2 routes together. How often does that happen for you?
Always happens around the 4th of July for sure, because you get a lot of garbage waste haulers taking those days off. Thanksgiving is another big one. Christmas, New Year's is another big one. And then the other 2 holidays that are random, because we have about 6 waste haulers, is going to be Memorial Day and Labor Day, because half of our waste haulers, some of our routes cover 3 waste haulers. And so you end up with 1 waste hauler who takes Memorial Day off and 1 that doesn't. And so in those situations, we might merge a Monday route with the Tuesday route, or we might move it forward a week or backwards a week. A lot of it just depends on what route falls on that week.
Okay. So the key thing is for this merge feature is the thing you have to understand is the only thing it's doing is letting you put the customers together on the route. So on the driver portal, I'm not on the driver portal. This isn't actually supported on the driver portal. On the mobile app, you'll see a route that looks like, so if I come in here and click on this, it'll say merged, and then it'll have the route names in parentheses. That's how it shows up on the mobile app. And then you're optimizing it for all of the customers on those 2 routes or 3 routes or however many you've merged. What it doesn't do is change anything over here. Over here, you're still at the individual, route level. So when you're recording customers here, but on the mobile app, it doesn't care. It just treats them like one big list of customers. But in terms of notifications and stuff like that, we'll get this map fixed. Russ pointed out that this map isn't working right. This map should be showing all of the customers of the merged route, and right now I think it's only showing the one route, apparently.
Yeah.
So we need to get that fixed. But anyway, so for optimization, and we'll need to get that map fixed, then it'll be obvious what's happening. Maybe what we'll do is merge these cells, because you can see as I change the numbers, the number of miles is changing in both cells. So maybe what we'll do is, from a UI perspective, merge those two cells together and merge the map cell together, and then it'll be obvious what's common and what's separate.
Yeah. Now, can you only merge routes that are on the same date? Because those routes that you've got merged are on the same date. Or what if I have a route that I can't do today because it's snowing and I want to merge it with tomorrow's route?
So initially we had that little rule in here. I took it out after your scenario. So now we don't care. We're still kind of breaking them up by date, so you can see, maybe those two make sense, but maybe these two make sense too. This was, a route that you didn't finish last night and you want to combine it with today's route type of thing. And then your scenario was, here's the route before Thanksgiving and here's the one after, and I want to merge them and do them, either before or after or something like that. But just keep in mind, as of today, the messages are going out tied to the route date, not to the merge. I guess that's something we could add over time, is maybe, merge them from the perspective of messages as well. We can, if you think that's worth pursuing, we can tackle that one.
Yeah, we'll see how many people use the merge.
Okay. All right, that's merge and service groups and locations. Did you see what I did with locations, Russ? I know you're checking something.
Yeah.
You got that? Okay. All right. Another thing we did out on this release that's worth looking at is in the settings, we've got these three settings here now: Enroute, days ahead, days behind. So we'll hold off on Enroute for a minute. So days ahead, you can now say how many days ahead do you want to show on the mobile app. Again, this is only for the mobile app. We're not maintaining the driver portal at all. In fact, as soon as we can convince everyone to get on the mobile app, we'll shut down the driver portal. So this is how many days ahead you want to show routes on them, and then how many days behind. And both of them you can do up to 2 weeks, 15 days. And then the mobile app has now been changed. Kathryn, can you hook in the mobile app and show that? There's now a new dashboard icon on the mobile app that says
You'll have to let me share my screen.
Okay. Okay. You're now the host.
Let's see. Can you see me? Did he leave?
I'm still here. I just stopped sharing my screen for a minute.
It still won't let me join on my phone.
Maybe I shared it with wrong. Are you on twice?
Yeah.
Are you sharing your video on the mobile phone?
I was going to, yeah.
Okay, hang on. Maybe I got the wrong one. So you have to, I think you're the host right now, so you have to transfer it to your mobile phone. There you go. Okay, so all right, so here's what a merged one looks like. You can see in the drop down where you're selecting the route, it says merged in parentheses, and then it has the route names and comma. Go
Yep.
to the main or the dashboard page and click home. Yep. So there's this section right here now in the middle, completed routes. You have 5 completed routes. So when you complete a route for the day, instead of just disappearing off the mobile app, if you have days ahead, now it'll show in that completed section on the dashboard. So you can go back and look.
The days ahead has to be built routes, correct?
Yes, all of this.
So,
The only thing that shows up on the, well,
so
yeah.
I only have 3 routes built, so that's why it's only showing 3.
Okay. So from the mobile app perspective, that was the main. There was a bunch of bug fix going out on this release, but that was the main one that went out. There was also some, I don't know if you have any tickets in here, but we flag first time customers and tickets now. They have a little kind of icon that shows up. So that's new. Oh, right there. No, that's something different. I can't remember what that one is. Click it, Kathryn. Let me see what it does. Oh, that's the send message.
Enroute. Yeah, this is the Enroute one.
Okay. So that's another feature that's new is this can be either automated, which means when you complete this customer, it will automatically send a message to the next customer on the list if they have a cell phone that you're on your way, that you're coming. Or it can be manual, and she's got it set up for manual. So click that. Oh, you already showed it, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you can set these different messages, Enroute messages up to send a message manually to the next customer that you're coming. So this Enroute feature was new on this release. And you have to have these messages set up. They're of type Enroute. We did have a bug when we first pushed the mobile app that if you didn't have any set up, it was crashing the app. So we had to do a quick patch and push that out. Some of the customers came in and they saw the release notes. They went on and turned Enroute and they set the setting to button, and then their app crashed. So we had to kind of walk them through it. We got around that. That was fixed last night, but it's a patch has been pushed out, but they have to get a patch, a mobile patch versus a mobile release. The releases go through the App Store. The patches come from this third-party system that we're using called Expo. So we can push minor patches, but you have to close the app on your phone and then reopen it to get the patch. So we have
the ticket, doesn't it say where this says completed? Doesn't it say ticket right there?
Yeah.
With a ticket, and it's red, right?
Yep. I don't know if it's red. I think it's blue or some color.
But they're flagged like that to see tickets now.
Yeah.
And the first time service is flagged as well, right?
Yeah. It's got the same sort of little icon there.
And can you tickets right here into the route now?
Yeah.
Do you want to set up a ticket, Dad, for Alpha 1, and I'll set up a new customer so we can show this?
Yep, you're on Alpha 1. Okay.
And do the
What route are you on?
do Provo Tuesday route.
Actually, I guess it doesn't matter, huh? Okay, I added that. I don't actually know what it looks like. It might still come up to the top unless I go optimize the route. What does it do? I added it to Provo Tuesday here.
1 sec, let me get a.
Oh, are you adding a new customer?
Yeah. So there's the ticket. And then, oh, I didn't rebuild it to get that new order on it.
So Russ, the tickets are still coming in at 0 on the mobile app. That was something we were going to get on the last release, but we got sidetracked, where the driver could then merge it, click a button and merge them in. So right now, tickets would still have to be optimized with our new optimization functionality, but they'd have to be done. But you can do it from here. Kathryn, just click on that arrow to go to the customer menu. And then hit the dots up there. And click the I. Oh, that's pretty jumbled. So technically, if the driver has access to the service screen, you can actually optimize it from here. Go up to, can you get to the service screen from that top menu? So go home, service, and then, yeah. Was it Tuesday? Something Tuesday, probably Tuesday. So you can technically, and this is what's new too, is now you couldn't do this on mobile before, but now you can drag and drop on the mobile with your finger. So you can do street sort, distance sort. So it's a little bit of work, but at least you don't have to go boot up your laptop. And you can see Kathryn's got Phillip Manor as the start and stop point, so it's relative to that. So now, can you go back to the app again, Kathryn? And
Yeah, I was trying to get back to it. So
you probably have to drag down to refresh it to get it to move now. Oh, so it's still in position 1.
but you can see the first service for that customer.
Did you see that, Russ? Scroll down to the bottom, Kathryn. First service right there.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay, so that's those settings. We kind of jumped around a little bit. So do you want to go over reviews? Do we have time for that?
Sure.
Okay. Kathryn, do you have reviews set up at all on Alpha 1?
No, I only have them set up in ISR.
Okay. Well, I'll share.
Because I don't have like a Google Business or anything, so I didn't know how reviews would work with that.
Okay. So that's kind of important to know. Reviews, we're using Google reviews right now. We don't have any other kind of reviews hooked in. I'm going to show you on demo because I hooked it up over there. So it's an application that we have to install, Russ, just basically because we haven't ever trained any of the customers on how to install apps. But once it's installed, you come into admin settings and it's right here, reviews. So this is the main dashboard for it. And then you have, what's that?
It's in your face.
Oh, am I not sharing my screen?
No.
Oh, do I have to give it back?
Oh, I thought I was still sharing. Probably still recording.
There you go.
Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let me go back. So you go home, admin, And when the module is installed, it's under Settings, Reviews. Okay, so in this case, we don't have anything set up. So what I'm going to do, Russ, is I'm just going to set it up with your settings from ISR, because we do have it set up for ISR. And I'm just going to copy your settings here. So this is your place ID. So let me show you real quick how to get the place ID. So in the knowledge base, in the help base, we have a new article for reviews that explains all about what reviews are all about. And there's a link in here, right here, to Google to get what's called a place ID. So this thing right here, this place ID, is something that Google generates. So if you come into Google and you scroll down to right here, there's this enter location. So what we did for you is we did innovative service routes, and that's where it is. So we click on that, and then you can see the place ID is right here. So we just copy that, and it's gonna be in Utah, so we gotta remember that. So we come over here and we put the place ID in, state name, and then this URL, you come back to, let's see, if you do a search for the company name, I'm just going to grab the URL. Kathryn, when she sets this up, she'll teach them how to get this URL, but this URL is what is going to go into the email link if they haven't left a review. So that's basically the link to the review page. And then there's either something you can put a prompt ahead of the URL or anchor text. And this anchor text really actually only works in email. So it'd be something like, click this link to leave a review. Okay, and then there's web template integration. If you're using our template system, you can integrate it there and you can choose how many reviews to show in that template. Then this up here, these settings, refresh interval is how often you want to go out to this service that we're using to get reviews. So if you're getting a lot of reviews, you might want to do daily. Otherwise, weekly or monthly. We'll set you up for monthly here. And then how many to bring in. And initially, you want this number to be big. But you can see the bigger this number and the more often, this is the estimated cost, which is, 30 cents a month is nothing. Nobody cares about that. If you did daily, then it goes up a little bit. It's, $9 a month. So the customer's in control. We pass the fees back onto the customer here, and they can choose how often and how many. It only actually charges them for the reviews that we actually retrieve. So if there's not 1,000 to retrieve, then it's not going to charge that amount, but it gives them an estimate. So I'm going to save that. And then when you save it, it kicks off the first request out to get the reviews. So you just have to it's a two-step process. First, we send the request to get the reviews. They go crawl, get the reviews, and then send them back to us. So it takes a few seconds for it to show.
For the first dump, you kind of want to have the records retrieved pretty high until you get all of the reviews in, right? And then you can turn it to like weekly, 30 a week.
Yep.
So.
Okay, so it takes a few seconds, then the reviews come in, and these were all reviews that were left by customers for ISR. So I'm just demoing this with ISR. Then what you can do is you can edit matches. So you can see that there was there was 23 reviews and none of them matched, which is expected on this cloud because none of these people are in here as your customers. But on some of them that we've done it for, they've come in with 50 reviews or 100 reviews or 500 reviews, and they've matched a lot of them. You can come in here and manual match. You can say this person is this person and match it. And then they'll drop off the list. So you can come in and say, give me all the matched or give me the unmatched. And you can go through a manual matching thing. And the reason this is important to match them is so that you don't keep sending review requests to the same customers again and again.
Does our system know that it's that? How does it know about that match? Like, let's say I'm sending out a text message at the end of my route completion that has a review link in it. Does it automatically know, or do I have to go program something?
You don't have to program anything, but you do have to have a template. So let me show you an example. Do we have any in here, Kathryn? Oh, this is on demo. You don't do demo. Let's say that it's
I think there's a Google review. It asked for a Google review on one of these.
Right here, please give us online reviews. So you wouldn't want to have a template that's all about reviews. It's not going to work that way. What you want is a template.
Do like upon completion.
Do you see it?
No. Just create a new one.
Okay.
Do a new template and just.
So we'll just say, thank you for your service. Then down here you do review. Is it just review, Kathryn? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Okay. So for your review, you don't want to put anything, click here to leave a review. You need it to be just a raw link because we bring in the verbiage from the review if they haven't left a review. Does that make sense? This is a placeholder, and we bring in all the stuff needed to ask them for a review if they haven't left a review. If they have left a review, this is going to be blank in the email. So
I've been telling people to just say like, we just cleaned your cans, like we just cleaned your cans today or something like that. Like you completed the service, and then it'll ask for reviews if they haven't left a review. So everybody's going to get that. We just cleaned your cans today text. And then the ones who haven't left a review will get an extra like paragraph about leaving a review.
Or sentence.
Sentence, which is the prompt, right?
Yeah, that's the prompt.
What did that sort order number 3? What did that mean?
Oh, we had to add a sort order on the templates to support Enroute. Enroute to show up on the mobile phone in order.
Oh, got it.
It's really not used anywhere else. Okay. So the other part of reviews is you can now link those reviews into your website. So if you come over to reviews now, this has changed. If you remember, we used to have this kind of kludgy, hard-coded, you put reviews in here from customers. That's kind of what we started off with. I shouldn't say kludgy. I mean, it's still there. If you enable it now, you can say where you want the reviews to show up, the review link. It can be on the top nav bar or the footer or neither one. You can say if you want the reviews to be on your home page instead of a separate page. And this right here is the important part. If you want the reviews to come from the reviews module, you'll turn that on. So in this case, these settings right here are going to pull in the integrated reviews on the home page, but it's not going to give any links to them on the menus. So let's take a look at that and see if I'm telling you right. So there you go. So here's the reviews now pull up on my home page.
Nice.
Based on how many you said to show. I think I said 30. which might be a little much. So this is kind of just straight up in your face. We might start looking at some sort of a, maybe only to show 3 at a time and have a scroll thing, where you can scroll through them. I don't know. So that's what that setting is all about. So if you've got reviews, you can put them on your template site. And everyone has a template site, but not everyone is really using the home page. A lot of people, if they host the site themselves elsewhere, they're not really taking advantage of our template system except for placing an order and pricing. So it's kind of a bonus ad for those who are using our template system.
Love it.
Okay. Let me go back here. I'm going to turn that off on this demo. I don't know. Do you want me to leave it on? Do you do demos from here?
I don't, but no, we can just leave it on. That's fine. I'll show people that next time I do a demo.
Okay.
Do you want to show them the pricing audit?
Okay. Yeah. So pricing audit. So on a lot of these screens, let me show you some other screens here, what we've done. Oh, we put a lot of work into this route calendar for new customers coming online, where they have to be able to compare, because we're route based instead of day, date based like a lot of our competition. They have a hard time seeing, comparing us to their other systems. So we come in here now and they can show, we display all the customers on these days alphabetically. So now they can kind of have screen compare to screen and compare customers, and it helps them kind of get their route set up. So a lot of work was put into this. It goes a year in advance, the route calendar does. And, it could kind of give people an idea of, I think I'm going to take a vacation on the 27th because I don't have any customers that day. That kind of stuff. Anyway, we spent a lot of time optimizing that. That was a fun job. But what I was going to show you under routes, like a lot of these screens, you can sort the columns right on the page. It's not really sorting them on the back end. It's just sorting them here on the page. So for example, if you wanted to see everyone as you're kind of trying to figure out what to sort, how to optimize your route, you can say, well, I want to put all my Harriman City people together. So it's not a permanent sort unless you come in and manual sort it and save it. So if you were to come in, I noticed we do have city. So if we came in and said, I'm going to do all my Spanish Forks together, except for Trinder Opal, I'm going to move her down below that one. Anyway, so that's what these do. We added the pickup time. We had one customer that was important to them. So if their customers actually have a pickup time, that'll display there, and they can sort on that. So you'll see this sorting stuff on several screens.
How does that pickup time? Because when somebody places an order right now, they put the pickup time in, and it shows up in the driver's portal. Does it also show up there automatically, or do you have to put it somewhere special?
It's in the customer record. It's just a field in the customer record where they can put whatever they want into it.
Okay, but it doesn't come in from the website if somebody types it in on that the information we collect that automatically.
It does, yeah, if you turned it on.
Okay, got it.
Which was kind of interesting because we had some customers. Anyway, it's a field that's there. I won't go into detail. All right, and the other thing we added was this pricing audit. What it does is it pulls up, you have the ability to pull up all of your customers, however many you want to see. The more you load, the slower it loads. And you can pull them up by region. Most of them don't just have one region. Okay, apparently you got a ton there. The little red triangles just kind of give an indicator if that customer is their pricing is off. And if there's not a price lock over here, then they could be off because of some reason. It varies. But being able to see those have been very useful on bringing new customers in, because they can say, here's this customer, their pricing is considerably different. So one of the things we were doing, for example, we were bringing this one customer online, and they had 3 or 4 different pricing options, for example, for a quarterly service, but they were the same, but they were different. So like there was 5 in a row that were 50 and 5 that were 45. And she could tell by looking at those that these customers needed to be moved to a different pricing model that was an older pricing model. So this price audit master screen might not be that useful for existing customers, but for new ones coming in, it's a good bird's eye view. And then what she would do, what this customer would do, is she'd come in, she would take care of these, and then she'd hide them. She'd say, okay, now I'm going to hide those customers because they're taken care of. And she slowly got this list down to just the ones that she needed to keep working on. So eventually they were all hidden. All of them were taken care of, and then she did show customers and rebill them all again. So it's kind of just a worksheet. You can't fix them from here. You have to actually go into the pricing section and pull up that one to fix them. But at least you have a bird's eye view of all of them, and you can kind of filter on different, you can say, give me all of them that have a price match error. And if you have, sources, you can bring in sources and active and archived and all the typical filtering that you can do, service frequency. And then this new zero pricing, I can't remember when we added that, but you can see if you have any customers that are actually true zero pricing, aka free. Well, not necessarily free. You might have some zero pricing services. So that's a price audit.
Love it. What else, Kathryn?
Should we go look at the release notes?
I was just going to pull that up.
Optimize service route, service range. We talked about that. Price audit, Enroute, route calendar, reviews. That was it, man. We hit everything.
Do you want to show where you set up the Enroute stuff under default settings and then the system templates?
Okay, so there's 2 options on Enroute. Well, there's 3. You don't have to use it at all. You can just turn it off. Then there's automatic, and then there's driver. So for these to work, and I'll tell you right now, we didn't put a whole lot of documentation in here because we knew Kathryn would be doing some training. That would have been a good one to put documentation on, I think. If you do automatic, you need to have these are only for SMS. We don't bother sending people an email that you're on your way. They're not going to read it in time. So for SMS, you need a template in here of type service, and on our way. Hello, first name. Our driver is on the way and will be there in. Okay. So this arrive estimate Jexel expression is still kind of a work in progress, and I'll go over with you what that means. We'll go look at some data in prod. But basically, if the driver has geocoding enabled, which we don't force them to turn on geocoding. You know what I mean by geocoding? You can configure the app to say, yeah, let people get my position. So if you got any drivers that don't want people to know where they're at, they'll keep that off, and we don't know they're geocoding. So if they have geocoding turned on, then we can come up with an approximate time on how long it's going to take him to be there. And I think the lowest we go is if the calculation's off, we stop at 5 minutes or whatever. And we have to kind of rough calculate it. So we figure if you're, within 5 miles, then you're probably not going to be going over 25 or 30 miles an hour. It's probably going to be close. If it's 20 miles away, you'll probably get up to freeway speed. So we calculate that in. So we've got this algorithm for trying to estimate the arrive time, and we're doing it programmatically. Down the road, we might be able to throw that at here or Google and actually get real-time, drive-by-drive estimates. I'm not sure how many customers are using this arrive estimate right now. In fact, I'm not sure how many customers are even using this automated thing. But we're still heavily testing this in QA. We actually have some of our QA people, they'll set up a route and then go hop in their car, drive around, and report back how well arrive estimate works. So it hasn't made it out of a QA yet. But you don't have to have it. You can just say, our driver's on the way and should be there shortly. So you can put whatever message here. You don't have to have the expression. But you do have to have this. It needs to be enabled, and it needs to be configured in your system templates right here.
This is for the automatic.
What do I call that?
On
our way.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is for automatic. So you have to have that turned on. Then in the mobile app, the driver won't even know it's automatic. He'll complete one service, and the next one on the list will get the message if they have a phone number. So it's just truly automatic.
So Dave, I just wanted to ask this real quick, because my drivers will sometimes bounce around because we service garbage cans the day of. So sometimes we'll get to number 7 and 8, 9, and 10 are all full. So they'll just skip that area, go to 11 and keep going. What happens with this Enroute thing if they skip 3 people that they want to come back to in the day? Is that going to be a problem?
Don't use it, I guess, or we give them the button.
If that's the case where that happens often, I would recommend doing the button or just not using it. Because the button, you'll be able to, like, if you're really on the way, you can say I'm on the way. Okay. But if you're going to skip a few customers, you don't have to send it. For that option, though, go back to the SMS templates, Dad.
So I'm curious. Well, go ahead. Sorry, Kathryn.
Go to that and go to your template. On the way.
On the way?
On our way. Switch the purpose. If you're going to use the driver button, you want to use Enroute for the purpose. And you can have as many Enroute buttons as you want. So if you want one to say like 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away, and not use the arrive estimate, you'll do that sort order, and you'll click that button in the driver in the app, and you'll see all those templates. There's just a quick, basically template, because you can still go to the message, the customer, and send a text, but these are just on that home screen.
Okay. So if I skip those 3 people with full cans, I just go to that customer and I have a button that I can push, and it just sends it to them. I just wanted to make that point because I don't want people to turn all the settings on, and then because a lot of people do actually either skip people or miss, or sometimes I've talked to guys who they're full at the start, so they just go to the end, and then they work from 76 down, and they might get a rude awakening on how it's actually working if they do that.
Yeah.
That is another challenge we've got with your team is you got one at the top, one at the bottom, one in the middle, and this is not going to work for them, especially the one at the bottom. The one in the middle, yeah. The one at the top, yeah. But the one in the bottom working backwards, this isn't going to work.
We'll just turn it on manually. But anyways, okay. I just want to throw that up.
I don't think even the manual button will work for that scenario. We got to figure out how to deal with a company like you where you got 3 guys on one route.
Is it going to work if I skip somebody? Because there's a way that you can skip somebody, like when you show up and somebody's got a can full of bricks, I charge everybody because they already paid for it on the first of the month. But some guys, they get to a house that's full of bricks. The brick mason just fixed the mailbox, filled the can with bricks, and they're going to skip them. They're not going to charge them. If they do the skip feature and order, will the Enroute button still work for that route?
Okay, so you cut out for just a second. Sorry, Russ. Say that again.
So if I use the skip button, and if I'm going to just skip somebody and then it reassigns them to 4 weeks later, is I didn't complete a service. What's going to happen with the Enroute button on the customer that should be getting the next message if I do a skip?
Same. It'll treat it. It doesn't care if you service them or skip them. It'll send the message to the next one.
Yeah.
It also will, let's say you have 3 customers and you didn't really skip them. So you started, customer 1, customer 2, customer 3, and you didn't service any of them. You went to customer 4 and completed them. Customer 5 is going to get the message, not customer 1. So when we first built it, customer 1 got all the messages. There was a bug that we didn't understand quite how our client wanted this built. So we were always notifying. In fact, that first customer probably got 30 messages for a couple of days. But now it's smart enough to say, I'm sending the message to the next one on the list, not the next one at the top of the list. So anyway, to answer your question, skip is treated like a completion.
Sweet. Love it. Sounds great. Excellent.
I think that's all.
Okay.
All right. That's
Well,
it.
we should have got Stone on this. It wasn't too bad.
No, that was good. We'll get him on the next one.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stop recording now.